This is section 7 for adding and subtracting polynomials, part 1. So we're going to start by reviewing how to combine like terms. So for example, x plus x is 2x. These are like terms. Or 3x squared plus 4x squared is 7x squared. These are like terms, so you can add those. Adding polynomials is very similar, but the polynomial just consists of more than one term. So for example 1, we have a polynomial 1 plus a polynomial 2. So we have two different polynomials here that we are adding. So first we need to line up all of our similar terms, or all of our like terms. So we have 5x cubed plus 6x cubed. So those go in our first two spots. Plus our 2x and our negative 3x squared go in our second two spots. Our minus 3x and our plus 2x go in the third. And then minus 1 and a minus 5 go in the last two spots. And we are adding these two. And now we need to add straight down, combining our like terms. So 5x cubed and 6x cubed gives you 11x cubed. Our 2x squared plus, remember to look at the charge in front of your term. So 2x squared plus a negative 3x squared gives you a negative x squared. Our negative 3x plus a positive 2x, remember the charge, gives you a negative x. And last, a negative 1 plus a negative 5 gives you a negative 6. So when you add these two polynomials, your answer would be 11x cubed minus x squared minus x minus 6. That's a good example too. So again, we're going to start just how we did in the first one. We have one polynomial plus a second polynomial. So again, we line them up directly on top of each other. Now let's think about this. When we go to add our like terms, can we add x to the fifths together? Yes. Can we add an x squared with an x to the fourth? No. These are not like terms. So you cannot add x squared and x to the fourth. You cannot add 7x and x squared. You can add a 1 plus a 3 though. So next, instead of adding straight down, for the spots, for example, you cannot add an x to the fourth plus an x squared. So we need to make a space in our first polynomial for an x to the fourth. And we're going to do that using zeros. So in our first polynomial, we copy it down like usual, 3x to the fifth. But we don't have an x to the fourth in the first polynomial, so we just write plus 0x to the fourth. And then, of course, our plus 4x squared, minus 7x, and a plus 1. And in our second polynomial, we have a 4x to the fifth, a positive 9x to the fourth, a minus 2x squared. But when you get to the x term, we don't have an x term in our second polynomial. So you fill in that space with a plus 0x. And then you finish it with your plus 3. So the only difference between this problem and the original, the first example, is that now you need to add in some zeros as placeholders. And of course you add straight down. So 3x fifth plus 4x to the fifth would be 7x to the fifth. 0x to the fourth plus a 9x to the fourth would give you 9. A 4 plus, and remember your charge, a positive 4 plus a negative 2 would give you plus 2x squared. A negative 7 plus a 0 would be negative 7. And a 1 plus a 3 would be a 4. So we just added these two polynomials. And your final answer is 7x to the 5th plus 9x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus 7x plus 4. Let's do another example. So again, polynomial 1 plus a polynomial 2. So you need to line up the similar terms. So you copy down your 5x to the 6th, your minus 9x to the 4th, and your plus 3x. And again, the same thing for that second polynomial. A 4x to the 6th plus 3x minus 7. Now notice our x to the 6th, these match. These are like terms, so you're okay here. But when you go over one, x to the 4th cannot be combined with a regular x. These are not like terms, so these don't work. And our plus 3x and our minus 7, you can't combine these either. They're not like terms. So again, we are going to put in some zeros as placeholders. So 5x to the 6th minus 9x to the 4th plus 3x. And at the end, we have to write our plus 0 as a placeholder because this one has a constant. And for our second polynomial, we have a 4x to the 6th. We don't have any x to the 4ths, so we have to write a 0x to the 4th. But we have a 3x, so these will match, and these are like terms. And then our minus 7 is like terms with that 0 placeholder that we had to add. And then you add going straight down. So 5x to the 6th and 4x to the 6th would be 9. Negative 9 plus 0 is negative 9. Remember the charge. A 3 plus a 3 would be a 6x, and a 0 plus a negative 7 would be a negative 7x. And that's your answer. And that's all for this part 1.